About?
Let's talk about the channel strip.
Okay.
Okay? Now, when you select that channel, this whole thing is that channel. Want to come take a peek?
Yep. Thank you. Where am I putting the camera?
This whole, when you select a channel, this whole section becomes the controls for that channel. All right? So, this is the equalizer. This is tone control. High frequencies, high mids, low frequencies. And I'm going to go one piece at a time. Okay? We'll start with the bottom. Low frequencies. This is the amount of low frequencies either added or cut. And this is the frequency. Now, hopefully you're not going to have to, I'm not going to teach you 5 years worth of audio in one evening, but right. This is going to give you, this is where your bass is set. Kick drum, I have it set at 80 hertz. That's a good place for a kick drum to be. This is low mids. That kick drum itself has got kind of a muddy, kind of ringy thing to it. I'm cutting that, that's around 315 hertz, and I'm cutting that a few decibels to make it clearer. Then I'm adding high mids to give you that snap, to give you that, and then I'm adding high frequencies to give it definition and clarity. Okay? I'm also, I don't want you to have to, you play too, right?
Yeah.
Give me a kick drum for a couple seconds, and so if you want to check on this. We are compressing that kick drum slightly. I don't know if you know what compression is. Think of it as a governor on an engine.
Is that what the red lights are for? They're
yes.
clipping?
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's not clipping. That's gain reduction.
Okay.
That tells you how much. So what it is, it's like I said, it's like a governor on an engine. When you go like this, instead of going like this, it goes no more like this. It's in this case, I am setting the compressor at a 4.4 to 1 ratio. When you see those red lights light up, for every 4 decibels louder it gets, it only gets 1 decibel louder.
Okay.
So it smooths the peaks down, because when people complain about audio, very often it's the peaks. It's the 5 peaks in the song that hurt their ears that make them complain. It's not the overall sound. So if we can smooth that over a little bit, it gives you a fuller, rounder, and also helps each instrument kind of poke out a little bit too. So in this case, and these aren't things that you really have to be worried about. If we get good settings, you don't have to worry about them. But rule of thought is, if you're seeing, would you kick again? Good and hard, see? If you see it go past 3 lights, that's too much compression, okay? And the way we treat that is, for less compression, we go clockwise. For more compression, we go counterclockwise.
So it's counterintuitive.
Yes.
More lights for less.
Yes. Now I'm trying not to throw so much info at you that you're like, oh my God. So, but we'll take things one little piece at a time. You want to see, with things that are very percussive, you can see up to 3 lights light, and that's probably going to be okay. More than that, it's going to start to sound like a bad FM radio. It's just going to squash everything down and take a life right out of it. So use it judiciously. If you're hearing if you feel like it's being clamped down and you're seeing 4 or 5 lights, lit up, then take your threshold and go clockwise. Okay. In terms of attack and release time, attack is how fast it catches the peaks, and release is how fast it lets it go. I could teach a 3-month course on that. So it's just, and then sometimes when you start to clamp the compressor, you say to yourself, wow, it's now I really like the way it sounds, but I can't make it any louder. This is gain makeup. Right here it says gain. This knob right here. So if you start to compress it and you really need to bring the volume up, you go to this thing and that compensates. Okay? So you're bringing up that squash signal. Okay? All right. Noise gate, I don't think you're going to use that. If we were miking every tom, I would have a noise gate so that when the tom wasn't being played, that would close that channel right down. In this case, we have 2 microphones on the kit. One, you don't need a gate on that. Let's look at the first little layer here. There is this thing that says HPF. Anybody know what that is?
High pass filter.
Yeah, see? Come on. That's why he's pastor. That's why he's pastor.
Go, Pastor.
Yeah,
Go, Pastor.
What it is it allows everything above where this is set to come out. So in this case, if we were to, I would say, let's go to a vocal. Let's go to Rhonda's vocal, okay? We originally set the high-pass filter on Rhonda's vocal at 125 because there really isn't any, that's not where the base of her voice is. So we're pretty much at a 12 decibel per octave slope. We're taking out all the stuff that isn't in the instrument or the voice that's in that channel. And that gives you, what happens is we start removing junk that you're not using, and it makes space for everything else to sit. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. What happens is, a lot of times with church audio especially, everybody's driving down the same lane of the highway. There's a big lane over here and a big lane over here, but no, everybody wants us right down the center. So when things have high frequencies, we want to use that place in the sonic spectrum there. And when they're mid-rangey, you want to use them there. When they're bassy, you want to fill up those things. And like with guitars, I pretty much high pass them in the 125 area too, because it takes up space. And the second you high pass those things, the bass pokes out all of a sudden. It's got a place to be. The kick drum has more definition. So
High pass filter filters the things
all the
below-
lows, everything out.
anything
Lows,
below that,
yes,
that frequency.
yes. So, and we'll start
That's
as
the
we go
high
through
pass.
here. Do we have a makings of a worship team here tonight? If we need.
We have some.
Oh, good.
Some of them are coming at
Rhonda's
7.
here.
Oh, there's Rhonda.
Hi. We're just looking at your voice.
That's good because there's not much of it left.
That's all right, we're going to pass it. The high pass filter.
Oh, God.
Okay. So next things. So there. The next thing above that is your trim control. And what that does, it controls how hot the signal comes into the mixer. The microphone plugs in, it goes to a microphone preamp, and this controls how hot that signal is. And you want to see, a decent amount of level. Let's see here. Ron, you want to go play keys and sing for me? Good, thank you. I'm putting you to work right away.
What setting is he talking? Trim?
The trim.
The trim.
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 To Jesus, I surrender all. To Him I freely.
Okay, now this, the way I have it assigned here right now, this is your trim pot as well as this being your trim pot. Okay?
Keep going.
Yeah. Get a little.
I will ever love and trust Him in His presence and be.
Come on.
I don't know if I can do the chorus. I surrender.
Let's see, we're getting just a little bit of compression on her.
I surrender all.
Okay, take a rest for a second. This particular knob affects everything. It affects the monitors level. It affects everything. So the trim pot is, and what we did is we left ourselves a lot of headroom, and I can tell right now that she's hoarse, so she's not singing as loud as she would because I was trimming her up. You want to sing? You want to play and sing? Sure. Let her play and you sing.
So in other words, it's a volume control.
It's the first stage of the channel strip.
And point to that button.
This right here.
Okay.
Gain trim.
Gain trim. Okay.
Okay. Now, the buttons above it, I'm not sure you have to really know. This is a phase button. If we were to have two people doing a drama, say, and they both have lavalier microphones on. When they stood close to each other and they're both on, you would hear this whooshing because they would be canceling each other out. If you, in order to fix that, you would hit that, and that would reverse phase on one of those microphones, and that would give you positive phase. But that's not something I'm thinking you're going to be using. So, and if you don't have the ears to hear that, don't do that. The other thing here at 48 volts is for condenser microphones, and I'm not sure we have any here. Okay, you don't want to use them on regular mics, but for condenser mics, that's your power. That powers that microphone. So 48 volts if you use a condenser mic. Over here, on this side, you have a pan, so you can actually pan. I'll show you here. We'll go to Rana's keyboard. We'll go that side, and then over to this side. Then you can hear that Rana's keyboard's coming pretty good through the monitors. So, how's your monitor level? Is it loud up there?
Yeah, I was sort of holding back because I'm quite loud.
Okay, all right. So hold on. So whose mix is Rana? Which one?
Vocally.
Okay. Is that better?
She's saying yes.
She is. Well, give me Sunday morning in Pentecost.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You do remember me, right? He is jealous
See,
for
you can see.
me. Love's like
Now
a
that's-
hurricane. I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy.
Yeah, see, that's it. Now, we're seeing two lights lit on her channel here when she's singing for compression, just a little bit. And we're not doing much. If you come over here and look at the ratio, in her case, we're at 3.5 to 1.
So you want that?
I wanted it. You want to take those peaks down. Was she really going to hit you hard? When, you want to be able to soften those
You
down.
want a little of the red light in there then?
Yeah, a little bit. Yes. No more than 3 lights lit. That's your rule of thumb. Okay.
3 lights lit here or 3 lights lit over there?
Well, 3 lights. It's the same thing.
Okay.
You'll see this thing under the X is where that's your gain reduction.
Okay.
It shows there and it shows here. It gives you multiple places to see it. So.
Just point those out again.
Okay, this is if you have this thing selected, this is the compressor and this is the gain reduction. When you have this selected, sing hard for me. See that?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
that is gain reduction. Okay, thank you. You're adding rooms to your mansion in heaven right now. This is the pan. This pans it over one way or another. For the most part, in this situation, you're going to want it up the center. If you get somebody who's playing super loud on one side of the stage, and you need to hear them on the opposite side, you could pan it a little bit to favor the side that the amp isn't on. This here is a delay. And what that does is allows you to delay that feed. In this case, you would not want to use that. But if we,
Delay like an echo?
yes.
Reverb?
Well, no, we have an echo in here, but this is like, this is kind of like, it allows you to offset the sound of one microphone to another. In this case, don't do that, If we, a lot of times with the master stuff, with like left and right, in large churches, I will have large main speakers, and then about 3/4 of the way back in the room, I will have smaller speakers. And if you don't delay them, what happens is you hear the sound of audio coming from the speaker before you hear the platform, and you're drawn to look at the speaker on the wall, not the speaker on the platform. So what I usually do is I mark it off with feet and delay times, and so when the sound comes from the main speaker, it reaches this speaker, then it pushes back, and you shouldn't even know that you should probably think they're not on. You know, and I'll never forget. You know Bill Walmer? Do you know who Bill is? Mm-hmm. When I first did Grace at Latham, the big room there, he was like telling me, they're not on. They're not on. I'm like, yes, they are, Bill. They're on. They're not. I don't hear them. Like pull them off. He goes, oh my God.
Yeah.
You should know that they are. If they're time aligned correctly, you should. You know, but in this case, we don't have that happening. So the room is small enough that we're getting by with these speakers just fine. The next thing is these buttons here on the channel strip. This is left and right. This is mono, which means we're sending everything to the right place. You know, this is being sent to left and right, and the mono is coming right. The small speakers in the front, okay, and the mains. You can see left and right mains, and then center speakers. These are the master volumes. What down here?
I was showing them this.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to be a very good instructor.
I love that. I love that.
Sorry.
I love that.
So what was you saying? I'm sorry.
Okay, these are the masters. Mm-hmm. This is for the large speakers on the side, and this is for the center. Okay, so if you feel like you're not hearing the center loud enough, you can bring that master up a little bit. If you're, we had them pretty balanced when I was here that Sunday morning, and maybe sometime in the next month or so, I'll come down on a Sunday morning. I'll just come to church and we'll go through the regular Sunday morning kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know.
Great.
Because I think going through all the motions while the band is playing is really, we can talk about it forever, but hearing it work and seeing stuff happen. So now you have 3 monitor mixes. You have Fred's mix. You can see Fred's listening to Wayne's guitar, Rhonda's keyboard, Fred's vocal, Rhonda's vocal. Where's Fred's? Oh, Fred's guitar. Fred, your guitar's not in your monitor mix?
It should be.
Well, it's not.
It's not.
It should be.
Yeah.
I do have a box, but I also have my Ibanez right here.
Oh,
So I don't know.
you probably don't need it then.
I don't know if it's my mix because
Well, it says Fred's mix
Yeah.
here.
It is. It's the one for you in the center.
Your vocal's coming through there, and Wayne's guitar is coming through your mix. But if you want, I don't know. It's up to you.
I don't mind. I think that would be fine. I can turn this down so it goes through the mix a little bit.
It's entire whatever you want to hear it from. It's fine with me. But that's how we give. This is how we mix his mix. This is how we mix the vocal mix, and this is how we mix the drum mix. So mix 1 is Fred's monitor mix. Mix 2 is the vocals monitor mix, and mix 3 is the drum monitor mix. Okay? When you're done mixing the monitors, don't forget to turn this off, because you'll start bringing things up and you'll be like, I don't hear anything, but it'll be bringing the monitor mix.
Say that again, Gary.
Okay. When you're done mixing the monitors, hit that button again and turn that off and go back to your main fader. If you notice, one good thing about this board is when you go to your monitor mixes, it's yellow. Can you see that? And when and I'll do effects in a second. When you go to your effects, it goes blue.
Oh, good.
See?
Cool.
Okay.
So it kind of alerts you that you're
Color-coded.
Yeah. Let me stop right here and say, do you have any questions?
Yeah. Too high monitor mix up. Their monitors are too loud.
Yes, I agree.
They're coming, overpowering the regular speakers. Sometimes you have to almost shut down the mains because their monitors are so loud.
The best situation for that to happen is in your monitors, but that's a big investment.
Okay.
It's a big investment. It's a great investment, but it's a big investment.
Okay, so just turn down the mains.
I would say
if their monitors are too loud.
There's a couple different things you could do. One of the things we talked about doing was deadening that back wall.
Yeah, we got
Right.
that.
Because I'll explain. Now you got your sound coming from these speakers, and then you have your monitors. Now your monitors are going, and they're hitting that back wall, okay? And they're coming out like 15 milliseconds after the main signal does. Makes it blurry, makes everything sound distant here. So you go and you bring the master up, and now you've got with the positive phase, okay? And they can't hear themselves because it's this war that you can't win. So if we could get the monitors to die at that back wall, it would help a lot.
And that's a project that we're going to do.
Are you guys open to lowering your mix on the platform, or how do you feel about that?
I have to pray about it.
Okay.
Because really, he's the one that says, I can't hear stuff, I need it louder.
Well, yeah.
No,
It's,
I don't mind.
Yeah, no.
Actually, we have to ask Keith. Where's Keith?
Keith is,
Keith likes it loud.
okay.
What would be involved in deadening the
Karen's
wall?
okay with
Is that something
That's
easy to
right.
do?
that's what he's talking about, the
Yeah.
project, and.
Would that be easy to do?
I'm fine with
Yeah, it's not very hard. You have to get, Marketech right here in Saugerties sell that sound absorption phone, and you don't have to totally do, but you could do them with, you could make furring strip frames,
Yep.
put the sound deadening, and then put scripture verses on material if you wanted, you know what I mean? You could do,
Yeah.
kind of what you're doing here.
You heard him with a still small voice or something.
Can't you simply raise or lower the volume on their monitors down back here?
You can, as long as they don't want them turned back up again the second you do it. People get used to a monitor level that they feel moves them emotionally, And what happens is once again, like I said, most of the churches that I'm doing right now have in-ear monitors. Everybody has their wireless in-ears.
Wow.
And they have this Aviom 16-channel mixer, which they're able to mix their own monitor mixes. And then you have no direct. Yes.
We're talking about, we were gonna get those?
Yes.
We talked about that.
Yep.
And we heard that it blows out their eardrum.
Well, no. What we were going to do, the cheap way we're going to do is try to get headphone amplifiers. Aviom has a whole protection system in it. That's the thing that, they have several levels of, when we're talking about compression, they have several levels of it so that peaks don't jump in there,
Oh, okay.
But once again, it's the unit that goes into this board is $1,200 for that. There's a patch bay, which is another $1,200 that goes on the platform, and each one of the mixers is $400.
Wow.
So it's
It gets costly.
it gets, you're into I just did Delmar Full Gospel 2 weeks ago, and it was about $4,000 to do to do it,
So in
So-
the interim, could we have everybody collect their egg cartons and put them on the wall?
Yeah, you could. Go ahead and play a little bit.
Do you want us to all play or just Rhonda?
I think all of you. I mean, the more we have going, the better. Now, is the bass plugged in to the system anywhere?
No.
That's what we have to just check because we haven't done a bass.
Okay, and
But
what?
there's a direct box. There's a direct box tied into it. I think we were anticipating a bass.
Okay, and is it plugged in anywhere? Is it plugged in into the floor anywhere, or? So I guess we have a.
Sure, I'm going to stop recording.